Hello and welcome back to the hashtag Lockboss Show and Giveaway Season 3.3. Thank you for tuning in. And of course, we have a couple special guests today. We have Lily.
Hi.
Well, thanks for, I know you have tons of work right now.
Yeah.
And then you've also been asked to come on live. So,
it's fun though.
Thank you very much. And of course, we have Ian. How are you?
Howdy. Doing good.
Very good. How's Billy?
I've been so busy, I haven't seen him in a while.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, good stuff, everybody. Hey, thank you for tuning in, and we're gonna have a little bit of fun today. But first, of course, we all got Topo Chicos. Cheers to y'all.
Not even gonna cheers.
And of course, now I do have to admit, if you look at mine, there is something in it. That would be Pina Colada Zip Fizz, and that's because I've been drinking too much of them. Okay, and then B, I have a lot to do this evening, an event to go to, and so I'm just trying to pump it full of energy. I mean, do you guys honestly think I drink too much caffeine?
How much coffee do you drink, and then how many Zip Fizzes do you drink?
And any other energy drinks on top of that?
I mean, for the most part, I try to stick to, like my go-to is Topo Chico, right?
Mm-hmm.
And black coffee.
Mm-hmm.
I usually have 3 cups of coffee in the morning, and then I'll switch. I'll have 2 Zip Fizz and 1 coffee in the afternoon.
Just 1 Zip Fizz?
2 Zip Fizz.
Oh, that might be a little much.
And then just 1 coffee in the afternoon.
Okay. Yeah.
At least you're not pounding rock stars.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That could be worse for you.
I just, I don't know. I don't know what to really say, but many people tell me that's why I'm always wired.
Hey, if it works for you, you know.
That might not be wrong.
Keep going.
But I don't know. I enjoy it. But anyways, cheers out there to all you drinking
Cheers.
Topo Chicos or your beverage of choice. I tell you what. So we're going to hop into the show here in a few minutes, but I do want to bring up a couple quick things. Of course, there's a lot of stuff like, the email heard around the industry when it comes to NASTIF and all of that fun stuff. The good news, I actually recorded a video today with Tony with Advanced Diagnostics where I read the email and then we talked about it. So that's going to be coming out this Sunday. Lily, thank you for the short turnaround time and shuffle of all of the videos.
Of course, no problem.
How crazy is we're into May now with videos.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's awesome. I love being ahead.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Actually, me too. So yeah, we have a really good conversation about that. I've gotten so many messages about this, and I think in the next few weeks it'll be a lot, cleared up quite a bit. I am willing to, though, if it's not after this video and some other ones that are going on, I'm hoping we'll be at a pretty good spot. But if not, I'll keep diving in and we'll kind of get it squared off. The interesting part is hearing when something like this happens, there's always a lot of uncertainty, right? And most of the time, uncertainty in all of us, including myself, leads to fear, right? And when you put uncertainty and then you add a little fear in there and then you combine it with what you do for a living, it can tend to, get us all, a little like, whoa, And so I totally get where everyone's at with it. And I definitely don't have all the answers, but I'm willing to help try to find them. And most of all, whatever the future holds, we'll definitely try to do our best to guide you through any process that needs to happen, or at least provide clarity, right? And I think that's what everybody is wanting more than anything is clarity. So I know Lock Labs is going to be doing some sort of video on it soon, and then this Sunday with the Advanced Diagnostics ones coming out. I'm hoping between the two of those, it'll kind of settle things. But if not, we'll keep going and we'll keep getting it figured out. And of course, we people who work with locks and keys are very important to us, and we're gonna keep figuring it out. So that's just a little bit of that. Hello to everybody out there. I see some lemonade. Let's see here. PJ, if your blood type isn't coffee, you don't drink enough. True.
Awesome.
Very true. But it looks like lemonade though, doesn't it? Yeah, it's pina colada, which is, by the way, as many of you know, I'm not one. I don't really drink very much alcohol ever. Mainly because it has calories, and I tend to eat eat my calories. But I tell you what, I love pina colada.
Yeah, they're great.
Is that bad?
No.
Is it manly enough, Ian?
I don't drink a lot, so yeah, I don't know. I don't have a dog in that fight.
Fair enough. All right. Rat says, shouts out to the editing. Hell yeah. I think that's for you, Lily.
Oh, thank you.
Let's see here. Yes, we're talking about the NASDIF with the requirement for scan tools, the aftermarket, and all that. So it'll be pretty interesting.
Yeah.
But anyways, with that being said, let's go ahead and let's hop into the show. Of course, I'm talking about the NASDIF and all that other stuff, but we're actually going to be talking about programming today with some people that have not very much or actually no programming experience. And we're going to kind of talk it out a little bit. So it's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. So with that being said, Julio, make yourself known out there. Play a little bit of tunes. I mean, isn't it better if we have a little bit of Julio playing tunes? Posts of the week. This one comes from Alan C. from AC Lock and Key. Thanks, CLK Supplies, for always having what I need, making one happy customer at a time. Well, first of all, honestly, thank you so much for the business, and love seeing pictures of it. Man, got a couple key books, whole bunch of keys, looks like some pins, and of course some fruit snacks. We like it very much. Good stuff, Alan. Thank you not only for the support, but for sending the photo in. Next up, this one comes from Brian W. He says, Lockboss fan number 3 coming soon. Well, Brian, I tell you, first of all, congrats on putting the 3rd van on the road. Very, very awesome. And I tell you what, looking at the prep before you're putting all of the benches and equipment in there and stuff, tons of care. You can just tell by looking at that. I mean, that's going to be a top-notch setup. And man, I tell you what, the care and the attention to detail you can see with the lights you're putting in and all that stuff is really awesome. Please, please, please send us some photos when it's done, or even some progress pics. Very cool. Lily, I bet you love seeing those because you post all the social media stuff.
Oh, yeah.
So
yeah, it's awesome to see something progress like that. A while back, someone sent us photos of them refurbishing a key machine, and those pics were really cool. If you're watching, please send more because I want to see it, in its completed form. So, yeah.
Very cool. And Lily, speaking of that, how cool is it, the different photos people send us?
Yeah. I love seeing everything from orders to giveaways to their bands or the work you're doing. Keep sending them in. We love them.
Yeah. Very cool. All right. Here we go. Comment of the week. This one comes, man, I have my glasses on and it's so...
You still can't read it?
I still can't read it. It's bad, I probably need a bigger computer screen, This one goes from Joe Polovic. Hopefully I said that right. Joe, he says, great video. and it's hard to argue with your selections. I also think the Freeman 2 should get a mention somewhere on the list just for its versatility. I see why you didn't mention the Triton based on price and cutting method, but it does cut best keys accurately as long as you take your time and align the key properly. Yes, absolutely. Joe, yeah, great comment. Thanks for putting that there. And you know, the interesting part, right, is when you're doing a video on based off the question of what machine do you need, right? There's a lot of machines out there.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, I mentioned what, 1, 2, 3, 4 machines. And there's probably 20 or maybe even more that would cut, right? And I know I was getting roasted pretty hard in the comments about not including ITL in that, you know. My apologies, ITL is great, absolutely. But I'm just kind of going based off a lot of times when I'm doing these videos, kind of talking about that. I would say it's a mix between two things. It's a mix between my own opinion, for sure, and customer feedback. Because there's been times where, you know, we'll start selling a machine, we get feedback about it, and we've had team conversations about machines that I've liked, that customers, between how the manufacturer treats the end user, how the manufacturer treats us, and then the overall feedback is very poor. Right? And so that alone is going to make me not want to recommend it. Even though if it does the job perfectly.
There's some good machines. The manufacturers behind them
are very poor.
They don't do a very good job of helping their customers or their distributors. And
they don't.
It's hard to recommend machines when you're not going to get support.
It really is. You know, I mean, how many times have we had to, here at CLK, to make the customer happy and to make things right, literally eat an entire machine? Right?
A couple $1,000 worth of machine.
100%.
100% of it.
Right? Because it's like, at this point, someone's going to lose. And we just choose it to be us.
It sucks, but it happens.
And I mean, it's the right thing to do, but is what people who've been on our site for a long time, and over time you'll continue to see, they disappear. Because at some point we only can lose so much before it's like, okay.
And it might not be the machine's a poor machine. It might just be that the manufacturer doesn't support it the way we want customer support for it.
And so that does go into what I'm talking about. You know, and the truth is, it probably wouldn't be that fun a video if I named every machine.
Here's your
45 minutes of.
I mean, you know, at the same time, I would say, like, as base advice for A2 machines, you know, I stand by what I said. Although I would say, like, even like the Triton, for example, like, let's say you do a lot of automotive, and then you also do have some customers that have best. I would be like, hey, you use the Triton. It's going to be great. Right? And so there is things, or for example, if you do a lot of automotive and a lot of residential and stuff, I would say don't use the Futura Edge because it doesn't have the ability to cut high security auto keys. You know, it's like there's so much nuance that goes into it. But man, hey, I really love the feedback. Hey, and by the way, if you put ITL in there, or even the best machine, the original machine, thank you. Like 100%, I want your feedback. I want everyone to read your feedback and to have that in there. It really helps everybody have the best opinion, right? And that's what we are after for sure. That is kind of what it is. But one other comment on this, and I'll move on, and I need to save some of it for when I do a recap video. But I should have mentioned, of course, like, I mean, as I started seeing the comments, I'm like, oh my gosh, I actually left out bringing up the OE machine, like the best actual machine.
That's funny.
You know, so hey, you know, it's fun. But hey, that's why having all sorts of different people on and their comments and their perspectives, I really hope if someone is looking for a best machine, that they watch the video, hopefully they feel some level of informed. They then read the comments of people who, there are some comments that disagreed with some of my choices. Awesome. But I think that if you disagree and you list a reason why, it's really going to help people who are really curious about a machine be able to see my perspective and then see other people's perspective. And that's really the cool part. So thank you for those comments. I really like them, you know, it's good stuff. But okay, moving on. All right, next up is learning key programming. Now, I guess I couldn't have scheduled the better time. I didn't realize that from when we put this on the books to all of the other stuff going on, perfect timing. So it's kind of what I want to talk about a little bit here is so many of you have experience programming keys. Some of you do not. And there's a hurdle to some degree to jump into program keys. And since we've had Ian here now, he's probably programmed 10, 15, 8, how many vehicles?
Gosh, I've programmed a lot.
Yeah.
20?
Yeah, around there.
Okay, about 20.
Some on camera, some off camera.
Yeah, and then we have Lily, who has programmed
just
one, which happens to be my daughter's car, right? So really cool. Sorry, I didn't time that sip really quick. I didn't do that sip very quick there. And of course, there's a couple things that go into key programming, right? Yeah. There is the actual programming. There's the key, add a key, not add a key, find the right key. There's a lot that goes into it. But, and of course, what you're seeing when we put a video out there is factual. Yep. It's real, but it's also edited. Yep. Right? Yeah. And so, what I'd kind of like to talk about with both of you for a few minutes here is, especially lately, when you guys have been doing this, I've been trying to stay completely out of it, right? 100% out. Yeah. And the reason that we've all decided to do that, just like so many of the other different types of videos we do, I sincerely want it as real as we can, even though we have to, we can't have a 40-minute video of trying to find the right key.
Exactly.
Right. And so I guess I'll start with you, Lily. When it came time to hey, you're programming this vehicle and you start trying to figure out the key, go into the vehicle and doing it, like, talk me through like your thoughts, like, was there confusion, all of that?
So I think because I have been just involved in programming, like I haven't been the one programming, but I've been filming people programming, editing those videos, watching those videos and stuff. I had an idea of what I was doing, but I hadn't actually had hands-on experience. So it was kind of intimidating at first, for sure. Like, I didn't even know where the OBD2 port was. So
always have a flashlight.
I would say, have a flashlight. That's helpful. Definitely make sure you're choosing the right key or prox key or fob or anything like that. When we programmed, we tried the wrong
Well, it wasn't the wrong prox. It was the correct prox. However, it was defective.
Okay, so then we switched to a different one. And
we had to get a new one.
Yeah.
New one out of inventory.
Yeah. And so it just make sure you're getting the right key, you're choosing the right options with the menus with the year, make, and model. Make sure you're choosing the right one of that, and just take your time and follow the prompts. Yeah. That's the advice I have to give to you. Also, going and watching other people program vehicles on YouTube is a great way to get a better idea of what you should be doing. So that's kind of my take on it.
Now let's talk about, so you're sitting there, you have the key, you're in the Smart Pro menu now. And Ian, so you've used the Auto Pro Pad, you've used the Smart Pro, and you used the Autech.
Oh, years ago. I haven't used it recently.
How would you talk about the difference in the menus? Now, of course, there's people who have both. There's people who love one more than the other. But if we're just talking menus here, what menu do you prefer?
Smart Pro.
Yeah.
And I think it's just one of those things that, at the end of the day, most people, their criticism of the Smart Pro has to do with the cost, not necessarily how hard or easy it is to program. Right?
I talk to a lot of customers, and that's when it starts coming down to AutoPro or the Smart Pro. It typically is coming down to costs, which then you just have to factor it into how you're doing business.
Yeah, it's true. And I mean, and it's a lot of money. I mean, there's no like getting into the automotive space today is going to require some investment. And more than that, it's going to require a lot of knowledge. Right.
Yeah.
And so, Lily, with that being said, so I want to kind of rewind. So you've essentially got to watch a lot of key programming videos in real life.
Yeah, pretty much.
Right?
Yep.
And when it was all of a sudden your time to be sitting in the driver's seat with it plugged into the OBD2 port, which by the way is way easier than having to go into the star connector or all the different other things.
Yeah, I don't even know what those are.
What was it like when all of a sudden it's time to start like looking at the menu and selecting, but like were you feeling like you might break something?
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, I was also as a push start car with a push start button. I didn't know how to use one of those. So thankfully Ian, was behind the camera. So he was like helping me out when I got stuck, So it's interesting because you can be watching it so many times and get like a good idea of what you're going to do. But like actually doing it, you kind of like I had a little bit of hesitation for sure. But you just have to like go for it. Honestly, there's like no better way to learn than to actually do it. Yeah.
It's so true, right? I mean, I remember, so this is years ago when we were, when Connor and I were going out to the auto dealer. And I have historically never really been into cars very much.
Yeah.
Right? Like I'm pretty neutral on brands, neutral. I just don't have, like, I'm not into the newest and what's in every different one, right? And I remember the first time I sat into a Prox vehicle.
Yeah.
And I'm like, huh? Like it's just different when your entire life, we've been turning keys to start vehicles and now you're stepping on the brake and hitting start.
Yeah.
It's just
that's backwards.
It's just different, right?
Different, yeah.
And so trying to learn that is always interesting for sure. Ian, now over the ones you've done, like you've had some ones you've struggled with.
There have been some that it wasn't as straightforward as I was thinking it was going to be.
Yeah. And I think that's probably the best way to describe key programming is what you just said. It's not as straightforward as I thought it would be. Yeah.
You run into some vehicles where there's multiple options for it. Not just the US or Canadian option, but you get different types of is prox or is this a non-prox? There's a couple different options, and you have to pay attention when you're reading through that drop-down list of, okay, what vehicle am I selecting? And you got to pay attention and slow down where you need to slow down.
Yeah.
And just follow the prompts.
Yeah. And you can also see why key reliability is so important, right? Because if you don't trust the keys you're using and you're out trying to, and imagine it's just not for us out in the parking lot.
Yeah.
But it's for an actual customer who's stranded.
Yeah.
The stakes go up.
Yeah.
Right? You have the wrong key and you don't have the right one.
Yeah.
I mean, you're going to have to sincerely, you've wasted a bunch of your time.
Yeah.
They're not where they want to be, nor are they excited for a expense.
Yep.
And now you have to go have a confrontational conversation with them, which unless you're crazy, you're not going to really enjoy.
Yeah.
Right. And so, there's that whole other element to it.
Yeah. The key we were using was the main key for the vehicle and it didn't want to program. So we contacted AD tech support, worked with them, figured out, okay, it's not the wrong one. It's just a bad chip. And then we had to quickly figure out, okay, we don't have any more of these in stock. What's an alternative that we can use to get the vehicle back on the road? Yeah. So we found the alternative, did the video, programmed it. It worked just fine. Yeah. But the original one that's supposed to be the main one for this vehicle had a bad chip and it was the only one in stock.
Yeah, it just happened. I mean, at the end of the day, it just
happened. That could be anybody. That could be you in your van, you in your shop. You only have one of that type, and then you have to go find an alternative.
It's just the truth. Yeah. Right. I mean, it just is what it is, and it's complex, and that's why like how do I say this in the most meaningful way? When people go to get into key programming, okay, I'm sure you get it a lot on the phone.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I used to get it a lot on the phone. Is I want to get into programming and I want the cheapest, or I want one that does everything.
Yeah.
And it just doesn't work that way. And honestly, I would like to figure out the best way to really help people in that situation, because I mean, I totally get it, right? Like you're like, hey, I just want to be able to do everything I need to do.
Yeah.
And it just doesn't work
Yeah.
quite that way.
No key machine is going to cover every single vehicle in the US.
Yeah, and the truth is, you need not only like, and this is something I'm going to be diving into soon here. I almost did it last summer. I didn't. And I was on the phone talking with them a lot. And I ended up not doing it. And I go back, I mean, I kind of got busy and I didn't. I should have. I didn't, but I'm going to, which is we really need to break the ice and really start talking about like the Cardac or like the can't speak all of a sudden, the Easy Flasher 2, and using the J52534 system with Nastiff to do the new vehicles, right? Like the complexity is getting more and more great. And I think, for the longest time, there's like probably the best plan is to have 2 aftermarket programmers, right? Usually a cheap one you use all the time, a more expensive one you don't use as much, depending, I think going forward, probably the best option is going to be like having an aftermarket programmer that you can afford, and then having a Cardac, honestly. And I've talked to Cardac quite a bit. Meant to start selling them, haven't. I need to get back on that and get it going because it's something that's needed. So I guess that's a little insider baseball for you guys out there. But yeah, I mean, I think it's the right thing. Like we're talking about it, like we have to. Like the complexity of keys is getting more and more great. Right? And so I don't know. I guess we've been going on now for almost 30 minutes, believe it or not.
Yeah.
And I guess to close it up with each of you with a thought, like if someone is wanting to start key programming or has maybe just got a real cheap machine and has been doing just some of the bare basics, what are both of your best recommendations as kind of going forward into it? And it can be simple or complex, right?
You go first.
So somebody already has a machine?
Or maybe not at all.
Okay. Oh man, that's tricky. I would say, reach out to friends and family. If you have a machine that doesn't require tokens, try to find people that you can program keys for, and to just get that experience, before you're like face to face with an actual paying customer. Just try to, practice on some friends and family's vehicles. That's what I would say.
That's a very good option. Practicing with people that are going to give you a little bit more grace when something goes wrong as you're learning. And then if you just trying to figure out a machine, do your research. Look at the different machines. We'll see what happens with the whole Nastiff situation in AutoProPad as time goes on, because we just found out about that ourselves as well. And just weigh out the different options with machines. I talk to customers all the time about different machines as they're looking to grow their business. They've done this for a while. They're looking to expand into this, or their old machine's no longer working. They need to get something new. And it's a lot of just talking with customers about what they see in their area a lot, what machine covers those options, and then also what machine is going to fit your budget. Also, you can also factor in what your business is. How often are you using one machine over the other, or how often are you going to be using this Because it's all about factoring in your pricing, all of that,
Mhm.
see what's going to actually work in your budget long term. So
Yeah.
you want to invest. This is a lot of money you're investing. You want to invest in something good that's going to last you a long time.
Yeah. Yeah, I would say for me, the biggest thing is it's getting harder and harder to just like to mainly do residential and commercial and then like do a little bit of auto on the side. That's just getting more and more difficult.
Yeah.
Still can be done for sure. And probably in smaller communities, it's probably easier to do that. But automotive is definitely becoming a big thing. Yeah. Like you need to really be in the know, invest a lot of equipment and that sort of stuff. And I think this is so true right now in a lot of things in America in particular is tribalism. And for some reason, like key machines, for the most part, people are pretty chill about, you know, like we all have our favorite brands and that just is what it is. But man, when it comes to key programming machines, the tribalism is rampant. And I would just say that if you're looking at getting into programming, you're going to have to really try to look past it and just kind of get down to the facts is the best way I can describe it, you know? And it's so interesting to me, the amount of haste when it comes to the second you bring up a machine and it's just like boom, you know. But yeah, I don't know, I think that's my thing. I think there's just a lot of tribalism you have to kind of look through. But I guess the cool part is, though, at the same time, I would like to say there is a lot of good machines on the market today. And you might ask, why are we only selling some machines and not the others? I mean, the main thing is it's really just support for us. Like if a company, if we feel like has a really good support, we know you'll be taken care of. It's good for us. If they don't, right now we've just kind of chosen to not sell them because, man, I mean, I don't know if our competitors have the same problem or not or whatever, but if our customers aren't getting, you know, if they're running into some problems with some manufacturers, I mean, they call us. Yeah. And like, I don't know, like we couldn't do it every day. No. We just couldn't do it every day. It's just the truth. Yeah. But anyways, well, hey, I hope this conversation was helpful and fun. And, you know, I definitely enjoyed it. And thank you both for coming on and talking about it. And let's probably get on to some Lockboss Season 3.3 winners. How about that?
Sounds good.
Huh? All right, everybody. Hey, thanks for tuning in and hanging out with us and having a conversation. And, you know, truly, I just hope the three of us on here, just having a real conversation about our perspective of key programming is hopefully helpful to you. And I see tons and tons of comments. I've been trying to peek at them. And thank you all for commenting, giving your own 2 cents on different machines and all that different stuff. Absolutely love it. So it's good. It's really good.
Oh, gosh.
Let's see here. Oh, yeah. Okay. Let's go ahead and keep the party going. Lockboss Season 3.3 winners are, well, first, Julio, let's go and put a little tunes on again. And let's go you're going to email us. Go to sales@CLKsupplies.com or call us at 800-848-6989 and we'll send your gifts soon. How to win? Comment on our videos with the hashtag Lockboss. Winners will be chosen from comments on the previous week's videos for our weekly giveaway. And of course, no purchase necessary. I need to add that in with this card. I forget every week. I don't know why it's not there, but it's no purchase necessary, of course. With that being said, let's announce the winners, starting with winner number 1 is Z28SS Kemerar. Hopefully I said that wrong, but I said it with confidence. So I'm going to proceed to winner number 2, who is Pedo4454. Congratulations. Winner number 3 is Waterboy Blue. Waterboy Blue, congratulations. Winner number 4 is Jamie Hernandez. Jamie, congratulations. And last but not least, winner number 5 this week of Lockboss Season 3.3 is Adam DAJ, I'm just going to say. Adam, congratulations. And of course, we still got our Lockboss old school patch hat going on, free with orders over $393.24 and up. Add to cart for offer. Of course, you can purchase it separately if you want. So many of you do. It blows me away. And on top of that, I know Lily's been kind of cooking in the kitchen lately, or I should say, designing on the computer, right? Mm-hmm. And working on our next exclusive merch, which is pretty exciting. Mm-hmm. And well, do either of you have any final or closing remarks? Now would be the time, or forever hold your peace until the next time you're on, I guess.
You have anything to say? I think I've said everything.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Thanks for watching.
Don't be afraid to call tech support. If you run into something and you're worried about calling, just call. Mm-hmm. It's always better just to give them a call first.
Yeah. Very good. Very good. All right, guys. Well, hey, that's all we have for you this week. Thank you all so much for tuning in, hanging out. I'm going to try to look through all these comments. There's so many good ones. And I like it. I like it a lot. So anyways, hey, stay tuned. Video coming out this Thursday, a short made by Lily. Lily, you've been killing it on
Thank
the
you.
shorts. They are so good.
Thanks. Yeah. It's a lot of looking at reels and trying to get some inspiration.
So the interesting thing is, Lily, hey, this is the after show here. All right. So something I'm interested in is, so of course you're posting all of them without me even, like, I don't see them until they go live, and I'll watch them and I'm like, that is so good. How did you even come up with it? Like, you really understand how people feel locksmithing.
I'm trying. I'm glad it's working out, because sometimes I'll be like, I'm like wondering about this caption, and I always send them off to Kylie to get her thoughts and opinions on them too. And so sometimes we'll go back and forth and we'll find like a better caption. So it's like a team effort. Mm-hmm.
Sometimes Kylie will ask us for advice too.
Yeah.
But
I mean, and of course,
Kylie and Lily going through and just watching reels and trying to find stuff that works.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I would say, of course, I mean, Kylie's in the background, the, getting all the stuff done, the ringleader. But that's good. I think they're just so good. And I just love watching them. But I'm like, sometimes I see them, I'm like, how does Kylie and Lily know that that's how we feel? But they do. But you do.
Kylie's got a lot of experience talking with customers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
She's been here a long time, and she's very good at
it's true.
Up on it.
Yeah. And, as a matter of fact, we need to get Kylie on a live here soon. It's been a while, Kylie, over there hiding. But good stuff. But everybody, hey, thank you for hanging out. We hope you all have a wonderful and safe Tuesday evening. I'm actually going to be hanging out with the Lockfather tonight at a dinner, so I'm excited to see him. It'll be good. But thank you both.
No problem.
Of course.
And of course, Julio, if you could, let's go ahead and leave with some end of the show music, nice and loud, since no one's talking. And y'all take care. We'll see you next week.
See you.
See ya.